It's liberal. It's extreme. It's Granholm.
Safe Space. Single issue story. Page 1. Panel 1. Interior. The corner of a large, almost diner-sized kitchen. Focusing on the wall where a large flat-screen TV is anchored, a healthy distance from the stove and sink at least. The TV is displaying a live broadcast of the Academy Awards. Off to the side of the panel, we get a vague hint of Charlene watching the TV. Charlene Latins is a tall and overweight black woman. Oh, this is just my type.
Yes, wonderful. And this comic already has great representation.
Charlene Latins is a tall, overweight black woman who is the personal assistant, or really the maid, of the house. Uh-oh.
Oh, shit. Okay, that completely undoes all the representation. It's ruined. Do you like her name, though? It's very Carter Granholm-y. we cannot do one of these streams. We cannot do a script reading stream without mentioning Carter Granholm and the interrupting cow, Moo.
She's essentially meant to look like Gabowery
the chick from Precious.
Except not short.
Oh.
The TV shows the awards presenter, some movie star in a black tuxedo, at a clear glass podium speaking, as he looks at an open envelope, and the closed captioning shows along the bottom of the TV as well, repeating what the man says. Male presenter. The award goes to Thomas Royloup.
Just Royloup is good.
Royloup for a storm touching the ground. Okay.
Pretty pretentious.
Yes. Well, that's if you're going to win an Oscar, you have to name it something like that, of course.
Sound effects.
Wait, does the sound effect say slow, sarcastic clapping?
It says clap, 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 clap. So yes, pretty much.
Oh.
Closed captioning. The award goes to Thomas Royloup for a storm touching the ground. Applause.
And in the closed captioning, they spell his name wrong.
They sure do. Panel 2. Charlene turns from the TV looking pleased as the presenter continues. The audience laughs. The bottom of the screen also shows a graphic saying, Best Adapted Screenplay, Thomas Royloup, but the closed captioning is laying over most of it.
Good job, closed captioning.
Male presenter. For obvious reasons, Mr. Royloup can't be with us tonight. Sound effects. Ha 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 ha.
He's a fucking white male.
Closed captioning.
Fucking male.
For obvious reasons, Mr. Royloup can't be with us tonight. Laughter. Okay, where was I?
Where were you, indeed?
Panel 3. Large panel. A cozy study that's been sloppy converted to a living room and a bedroom as if it was one big single-bedroom apartment. Full bookshelves along the walls. There's a massive 15-foot-tall window off to the left, our left, side. But it's nighttime and the curtains are closed over it. There's a made bed near the window that's clearly unused with a body pillow, aka hug pillow, laying over the tuck blanket.
Fuck pillow.
A vague hint of an anime girl on the pillowcase, which will be seen in better detail later. A table at the foot of the bed has a clock, a book, a mug of pens, a notepad, some sort of house phone like a wireless phone, or maybe some vintage rotary phone. The wainscoting and furnishings look expensive. Carved oak or mahogany or walnut. Smack in the middle of the room is a massive, puffy...
We're getting fancy. It's a fucking classy place. That's the point of this.
Smack in the middle of the room is a massive, puffy leather recliner sofa chair with an almost irritatingly adorable and very short, 5'2", youngish-looking man, Thomas Royloup, unassumingly cute like a Moe Shota, from one of my Japanese anime-oos. He doesn't look like he's some great writer. He just looks like a kind of rich, weirdish, shut-in slob. The recliner practically dwarfs him, like it's almost a gigantic chair bed, smattered with pillows and blankets, one fat pillow against his lower back with the sides sticking out. He has one small fluffy blanket over his legs, but with his cute feet sticking out, send feet pics onto the footrest. Another smaller blanket over one of his shoulders, another spare fluffy blanket just laying over the back of the chair to one side, a smallish pillow under one of his arms just to let his arm rest on it. The recliner is flanked with two matching dark oak tables with fancy engraving, like you'd see at a fancy restaurant. The table on his left, our right, features a large ice bucket with a 2-liter bottle of cheap strawberry soda sticking out. A big fat strawberry visible on the label, probably a plain white label since that's the universal sign of cheap soda. And the table on his right, our left of course, has a dock to charge his controller, as well as about 8 different game controllers, some wireless, some with wires running down the table towards the TV, a TV remote, an intercom buzzer, another phone on a charging dock. He's wearing a gold trim and red velvet bathrobe, which is slightly open in the front, but not enough to see his adorable fucking cock.
How come you're embellishing in this script? Why don't you just read what it says?
That is...
Do we really need to know all this?
Do we need to know that?
This is what the script says.
It is, but none of that's going to show up in the comic.
His hair is somewhat scruffed out in an adorable way, of course, as if he just woke up in the chair and stayed in it all day. The glow of an unseen gargantuan TV is lighting him up as he stares at it blearily. He's holding a wireless Steam controller in his hands, playing some video game. In the background is Charlene, leaning in from the doorless kitchen doorway to say something to Thomas. The TV continues faintly from within the kitchen. Male presenter, smaller text from kitchen. Accepting the award in his place, Charlene. Oh, Charlene has lines. I gotta do a voice for a sassy black
You gonna do a sassy black chick, fat black chick voice? I sure hope so.
Mr. Roy Loop, you won the Best Adapted Story Oscar.
That is great. That is exactly what I wanted.
So that's exactly the kind of voice you would expect to hear from this character. It sounds like Harley Quinn.
Yes.
Thomas. Cool. Nice. Page 2. Panel 1. Large panel. The TV in front of him and a hint of the top of his chair. The TV is easily 200 inches, slightly curved to surround him better. On the screen is a Metroidvania type of game starring Laylee.
He's got good taste.
Yes.
A tall brown woman with long hair, wearing a skin-tight pelt quilt bodysuit. She's being attacked by a tentacle monster that's ripping her suit open, and Laylee's big tits are bouncing out, with another large green veiny tentacle stuffing itself.
Keep reading.
Keep reading.
Stuffing itself into her mouth with a splatter of clear goo squirting out of her mouth. The upper portion of the screen also shows a health bar, money, some inventory icons such as 12 bullets, 4 Molotovs, and then a small grid-like 4-color mini-map in the upper right, like Super Metroid. And,
or maybe Anthophobia.
Or Anthophobia.
And Smug Meter that's partially filled up.
Yeah, every time you do a dodge, it fills up her smug meter.
Panel 2. A small close-up of Thomas He looks a bit annoyed in an adorable moe way as he casually curses at the game. Thomas. Fuck.
That is the most perfect read you have done out of all these scripts so far.
Panel 3, medium view of Charlene and Thomas. Charlene is still much further behind him by the doorway to the kitchen. Charlene. Why don't you use one of them Molotovs? You got 4 of them.
I love this voice.
Like backseat gaming, oh boy.
Thomas. I was saving them for later. Thomas continued. Shit. Sound effects. Thomas.
He just won an Oscar.
He's an Oscar award.
Factually true. It's more important to play video games. That's the message of this comic. Apparently, this comic has a very important message.
This comic has like a message.
It sucks.
Panel 3, same view. Charlene perhaps leaned a bit more in. Charlene. You should close your robe too. Thomas. Why are you coming in here? Charlene.
Inappropriate.
No.
I know that's not how it's written in the script.
That sounds like Stalker Patty.
Thomas. Well, I don't gotta. Page 3. Panel 1. It's the next morning, and we see the point of view from across the empty giant recliner to the bed by the window. Sunlight is coming through, glowing the rest of the room orange. Thomas lays on the bed, using it for the first time in a while, still wearing that same robe, with his arms and bare legs wrapped around a hug pillow. The pillowcase shows an anime girl who looks like she's shocked and crying as her clothing is being shredded off by force, revealing her naked body. Thomas's eyes are opening slowly.
That's another fetish that anime invented.
Thomas's eyes are opening slowly, looking weary. A digital clock on the table at the foot of the bed says 11:47.
He's waking up at the crack of noon.
Sound effects. Thomas. Panel 2. Thomas lurching from the bed towards the recliner, his robe perhaps mercifully closed at the waist, as he slaps a button on the intercom that just buzzes, and his other hand picks up the Steam controller to turn his TV and
Steam controllers, oh, they're great.
Sound effects. Intercom. Bzzz.
That was a great sound effect.
Panel 3. He's sitting on the recliner now, not playing a game, but just using one hand to lazily scroll through his computer with the Steam controller, though the screen itself is most likely unseen in this panel. As Charlene appears from the kitchen carrying a silver tray that has an elaborate array of 7 cups of blueberry yogurt, each surrounded by a mess of ice cubes. One of the yogurt cups is already open with a dessert spoon sticking out of the top. Definitely an extremely specific breakfast ritual that Thomas had long ago established, and they've both settled into by this point. Charlene is going to the side table on Thomas's left, our right, which is empty and clearly exists just to hold the tray for his food.
Clearly exists.
It clearly exists.
Yes, nobody was doubting it existed. So
I was
definitely exists. Charlene also speaks up as she delivers the breakfast. Charlene. Ricard is coming over later to drop off your Oscar. Probably around 3 or 4, so you got a couple hours. Thomas. Okay. Thomas continued. Guess I'll get dressed in a few.
Let's try.
Panel 4. The giant TV as it shows his computer on some social media site like Twitter, full of messages that he's scrolling through. A couple messages scrolling past. At XX male person guy 430, 4 hours ago. You won an Oscar, fucking sweet, I'm a huge fan. At borderline personality thought 4 hours ago.
Oh boy.
I loved your movie. Can you give me RT to get my sick dog some help? If you don't, fuck you.
Oh, why am I? I'm the one who wrote this. I made
7
myself.
hours ago. Wish you were at the show. Would have loved to see you on TV.
Wait, I didn't hear it because I was talking over it, even though you were.
I didn't hear because I was coughing. And you were to fucking be heard.
At Cats and Wine, 7 hours ago. Wish you were at the show. Would have loved to see you on TV. Panel 5. Thomas looking bored as he keeps flicking his thumb against the touchpad on the Steam controller. Panel 6. Another couple of messages, more zoomed in. At Repulsive Anteater, 38 minutes ago. Congrats, man. At QS551CF, 1 hour ago. We're coming to kill you. Panel 7. A few more messages. At Lanternade, 3 hours ago. Grats on the win, dude. They gonna mail your Oscar? At 11 Saladin, 1 hour ago. We found you now. You will pay, deceiver. At Tim, N2424, 9 hours ago. I have found your address and sent anthrax to your house. At Wade008, 4 hours ago. I bet the Academy didn't know you were on the SPLC hate list. Let's see what happens to your Oscar when they're made aware of this little fact. Panel 8. Thomas sitting there with a one-punch man, okay, bored face. Business as usual for him. Page 4. Panel 1. Thomas looks over on his right table. Is that our left? It doesn't specify.
It lets go of the reins and lets the reader decide for themselves.
Thomas looks over on his right table to where his cell phone is docked, but at the furthest edge of the table away from his reach. Panel 2. He reaches over, his cute little arm stretching towards it, but it can't reach. He's just too shrimpy and cute. And the phone dock is out of reach. Panel 3. Thomas gives up and goes back to sitting and looking at the TV.
That's a whole story arc. That's a character arc for Thomas.
Panel 4. Charlene enters to pick up the tray of expended yogurt cups on the food table as she asks him something. He keeps looking at the screen, still casually scrolling as he answers. Charlene. Need anything else, Mr. Roy Loop? Thomas. Yeah, I was thinking I should get the phone. Maybe call the police about these death threats.
Maybe
you should try coming up with some kind of gas that turns people into clowns when it kills them.
Is that how she's going to help?
Charlene. Anything different about him? Thomas. Sorta. There was this one. Hold on. Panel 5. He scrolls up to check the previous messages again. From off-panel, he voices his confusion. At Cats and Wine, 7 hours ago. Wish you were at the show. Would have loved to see you on TV. At Baizuo99, 12 hours ago. To all trash people praising at Thomas Roy Loop tonight, he is fucking garbage, misogynist, femphobic, Islamophobic, hydrophobic, fucking piece of shit, fucking shit. Not like I even care about him. It's funny to me what a pathetic little fuck shit he is. Several laughing so hard they're crying emojis.
Is he also vitriophobic?
Is he vitriophobic? I don't know what that is.
I think that means that he doesn't stick to glass.
He doesn't stick to glass. I should. Okay, I think I'm going to put that in there.
XX, male person guy, 4:30, 4 hours ago. You won an Oscar? Fucking sweet. I'm a huge fan. At Repulsive Anteater, 39 minutes ago. Congrats, man. At Lanternade, 3 hours ago. Grats on the win, dude. They gonna mail your Oscar? Thomas, off-panel. What in the fuck? It was right here. Thomas, off-panel continued. This site is a big fat mess.
Jeb is a big fat mess.
Okay, Panel 6. Thomas just sitting there, his robe open somewhat as he looks a little annoyed, but he doesn't care much at this point. He's been dealing with these for a while now. Charlene is holding the tray up with one hand. Thomas, whatever, I'll screen cap him if I see him again. Charlene.
All right, Mr. Roy Loop. Your fans seem happy about your win, at least.
Thomas. They're just fans of the Oscar bait movie. Most of them don't read my other stuff.
Oh, shit. That's some fucking meta commentary.
Yes. Oh, this is so incisive and meta.
Charlene continued.
Some red pill
You
knowledge.
mean the stuff you're getting death threats over?
Thomas. Yeah. Page 5, panel 1. Charlene smirks, being a little sassy.
Ooh.
Charlene.
Oh, no.
How do you know they're not your real fans? You don't want to sound ungrateful, do ya?
Charlene continued.
And by the way, you should close your robe, sir. Your little Oscar looks cold.
Panel 2. Thomas looks down and realizes that his dick is out. Not seen here, just revealed with his robe being open. He panics. Cutely.
But if we did see his dick, it would be very cute.
Yes.
Yes. He panics cutely and shoves his hand down to cover it before pulling one side of his robe over his groin.
Yes,
Charlene.
cutely, not a question. Remove question mark. Yes.
Charlene is somewhat amused. Thomas. Oh, fuck, I forgot. He forgot his dick was out?
He forgot his dick was out. He's just sitting there with his dick out all the time. So
hate it
people
when
would
that
shake
happens.
his dick.
Thomas continued. God, I'm really sorry. I don't mean to be like this all the time. Thomas continued.
He's
I
a
hope
genius artist, though, so you know.
Yeah,
you know
it's
how
okay.
it is with genius artists like that. And they can afford a little eccentricity.
We certainly know. We understand that.
Thomas continued. I hope you're not going to do a Me Too thing. Charlene.
Don't worry, Mr. Roy Loop. I've been working for you for a year. I understand what you like.
Charlene continued.
It's fine.
Panel 3. He looks up at her, looking contrite and as cute as ever, if such a thing is even possible for him, considering how adora kawaii he is 24/7, 365. Thomas. I hope I'm not underpaying you for what you have to put up with. Thomas continued. You know, with me. Panel 4. Charlene looks perfectly polite. Charlene.
You're paying me very well, sir.
Charlene continued.
Trust me, I've seen worse.
Panel 5. Charlene returns towards the kitchen. Charlene.
Besides, you pay me too well to report you.
Panel 6. Charlene turning back one more time. Thomas responds, though mostly to himself. Charlene.
But don't get any ideas about what I do for more pay.
Thomas. Well, I wouldn't cheat on Kristen. Who the fuck is Kristen?
You find out later.
Thomas continued. I guess I should put on clothes if Ricard's coming over.
Classic Thomas Sue.
Page 6. Panel 1. Large interior panel of a singular brownstone type of building that takes up the whole block, though not quite New York City-sized block. This is more Midwest, so we can see a metropolitan area surrounding, but not a gargantuan city sprawl. A luxury car is parked alongside the street towards the front door. As it turns out, this building only has one main entrance, a double glass door at the top of a somewhat small set of stairs. We see Ricard exiting this car. He's tall and elegant, light hair slicked back, carrying a medium-sized box under one arm that contains the Oscar statuette. This panel is mostly for establishing the building that Thomas lives in. It should be at least 4 stories, a little elegant, but clearly lonely for just the 2 occupants to live in. Panel 2. Perhaps a view from the street. Ricard walking into the front doors that go into the small interior lobby, which is unfurnished, only containing a few doorways, an elevator, and an open stairwell next to the elevator. The stairwell exposed to the lobby, not behind a door or anything, but ideally looking somewhat elegant instead of being plain boring stairs. Panel 3. Thomas comes through the door into the lobby wearing pajama pants, possibly patterned with ahegao anime girl faces, and some kind of goofy t-shirt that says something ridiculous like morally bankrupt on it, and also wearing pink bunny slippers on his feet. Ricard greets him. Ricard is about 6 feet tall compared to Thomas's shrimpy AF 5'2", so Ricard easily towers over Thomas. Ricard. Thomas, you look about the same. Thomas. Yeah, sometimes I feel it too. What is this fucking dialogue? Panel 4. Ricard smirking, continuing. Ricard. Right. Ricard continued. Your publisher says you can take the week off to celebrate, but they're still hoping to see a draft of something new before the quarter's up.
This voice is the worst now.
Thomas. Fuck, don't tell them I haven't written anything yet. Panel 5. Ricard just feels some pity for his client. Ricard. Sorry. I know you're going through some rough times, but you're still under contract.
Is it getting
I'm
worse?
sure you have two more books in you somewhere. Ricard continued. Mayhaps this situation in your life can lead to inspiration. Page 7, panel 1. Ricard handing over the box, Thomas taking it. Thomas. Not so far. Anyway, gimme. Thomas continued. No clue what I'll do with this. There's no fireplace here, but I guess I can just cram it onto a bookshelf.
Cram it up your shut the fuck.
Panel 2. They talk. As Thomas holds the box under one arm, Thomas seems a bit concerned as he looks up at the taller Ricard. Ricard. By the way, Mark Ruffalo is supposed to come over later today.
Who's Mark Buffalo?
Mark Ruffalo.
Hey, Mark Ruffalo, huh?
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo, huh?
He wanted to congratulate you in person. Thomas. What? How does he know where I live?
What? Good question. What? Because what the fuck did you just say? Ricard is not supposed to be British.
Ricard. I told him. Thomas. Why? Panel 3. Ricard explains. Ricard. He won for Best Actor.
Can you not do this voice anymore? It's almost inaudible, though. It's just harder to hear.
Wow. Ricard. He won for Best Actor, in the movie you wrote.
That's fucking great. That's a great voice.
Yeah,
I like that so much better now.
Now I'm not used to it, though.
Yes, now can you go back to the old one? I'm not used to it.
Go back to
Seinfeld.
It just say, pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole. It's just that, it's that incoherent. When I want you to start reading again, I'll just say, asshole!
He won for Best Actor, in the movie you wrote.
Is he hungry for words?
Ricard, continue. He just wants to stop by, be nice and play along, alright? This helps your career, tricking famous people into thinking you're nice. Thomas. Fine, whatever. This really blows my day. Tomorrow I'll really owe myself being extra lazy and playing even more video games and jacking off just to make up for this. Panel 4. Ricard looking a bit smooth and cool. Ricard. How are you holding up otherwise? Life in exile isn't too rough on you? Thomas. I live in my own apartment complex mansion thing with a maid. It's... Thomas continued. Yeah, actually, it's all right, I guess. I'm fine. I'm not really happy about you giving my address away, though. Thomas continued. Those people who want me dead aren't joking. I mean, if they were joking, I can't take that chance anyway. But you saw how those Antifada guys
Antifada.
are with writers and artists and whatever.
It's like Antifa and Antifada.
It's both, basically.
Thomas
Anyway.
continued. They either think I'm a dirty infidel or I'm some kind of Nazi for being a dirty infidel that doesn't sort my recycling. Panel
Fuck.
5.
Oh.
Ricard walking away but being legitimately sympathetic. Ricard. Well, and making fun of them in a book, but I know what you mean. Ricard continued. Just try to relax and enjoy yourself. You earned it. Panel 6.
Doesn't sound as sympathetic in that voice.
Panel 6. Thomas from further away as Ricard leaves. Thomas. Yeah, I guess. Page 8. Panel 1. Thomas in his TV room again as he casually takes the Oscar out of the box, thumping the Oscar itself onto the side table that has the remote and game controllers while casually throwing the box over onto the bed against his hug pillow to be thrown away later. I mean, his Dakimakura?
No, hug pillow.
Fuck pillow.
Fucking fuck pillow.
Hump pillow is more like it. Panel 2. Thomas inside a large dressing room putting on actual dress clothes, a button-up white shirt and a suit jacket, though nothing too formal, just casual. Charlene comes in through the doorway to ask him. Charlene.
Have you eaten since lunch?
Thomas. I had half a box of cheddar snaps. With a Z. Snaps with a Z. Charlene.
That's a snack. That's not food.
Thomas. It's food if you eat enough of it. Thomas continued. I mean, I guess I'm hungry. Could you make me a salad with some bacon? Thomas continued. And I want the bacon well done. I don't like bacon that's too soft. I want it crunchy, though not Elvis levels of burnt. What a fucking diva.
The bacon diva.
Panel 3. Thomas continuing as Charlene peeks her head into the doorway with a smirk. Thomas. And can you replace the batteries in my controller? They're drained again. And throw that Oscar box away. It's on my bed.
The one with the Oscar in it. It's like the Grammy episode of The Simpsons.
Yes.
Charlene.
Oh, yes, massa.
Now I like her even more.
Yes.
Panel 4.
Oh.
Thomas looking stone-faced as Charlene smirks casually. Thomas. What? Oh my God. Thomas continued. You shouldn't be allowed to say that. I should dock your pay. Charlene.
You better not.
Charlene continued.
Front door's ringing, by the way.
Panel 5. From inside the bare lobby, seeing outside, Mark Ruffalo pushing a doorbell next to the double doors. Thomas is already approaching from the stairwell, which is perhaps where we're seeing this. Thomas. Hey, Mark, come on in. Page 9, panel 1. Mark pushes the double doors open. Mark Ruffalo. Panel 2. As Mark is still coming through the doors, Muslim terrorists wearing ski masks rush in from the sides. One immediately points a sawed-off shotgun at the back of Mark Ruffalo's head and blows the entire top of his head apart, leaving just his jaw. Panel 3. Thomas, at the very last step of the stairwell, recoiling. Thomas, giant scratchy text. What?
Probably not like that. Just wah. Wah.
Scooby-Doo, or maybe the fucking Tim Allen.
Yeah, that's how you make it sound.
Panel 4. Mark Ruffalo, or what's left of him, as his body staggers around, just a jaw and tongue flapping around, blood splattering up into the air like some kind of Mortal Kombat fatality. The Jax one from Mortal Kombat X specifically is what I had in mind. Not exactly like that, just similar to it.
That's terrific. That's terrific.
Mark Ruffalo. Argle Bargle. Think it's an
Argle,
Oxford
comma, Bargle.
Yes, period.
Panel 5. Mark's body staggering into the lobby still as Thomas starts to rush up the stairs.
He's
Thomas.
actually alive for the entire rest of this.
He's not
No.
dead. I mean, come on, I'm not going to kill Mark Ruffalo.
Thomas, scratchy text. Oh, fuck, shit, fuck, shit, God, fuck, run! Mark Ruffalo.
Who is he talking to?
Mark Ruffalo.
Oh.
Mark Ruffalo. Glarg. Page 10. Panel 1. Thomas runs from the kitchen to the study/TV room, but it's empty. Thomas. Large scratchy text. Charlene! Panel 2. Thomas rushing into the laundry room where Charlene is. She looks somewhat concerned. Charlene.
Something the matter, Mr. Roy Loop?
Panel 3. Thomas trying to push her, his hands on her back as he's trying to get her to physically move, but she outsizes and outweighs him so much that she doesn't even budge. She looks mildly surprised here, though keeping calm. Thomas, scratchy text. Guns, guys with! Thomas, continued, scratchy text. Guns with guys, they're killing! Thomas, continued, scratchy text. Go run upstairs! Charlene.
K.
Panel 5. The terrorists spreading out, one taking the stairwell, another taking an elevator, another kicking in a doorway that leads further into the apartment. Mark Ruffalo's headless body continues staggering somehow. Terrorist guy. Break all the doors down! Don't let them hide!
That's not what Aladdin sounds like.
Aladdin doesn't sound like that.
Panel 6. Mark Ruffalo's body finally thuds to the ground.
He went to sleep.
Good night, sweet prince. Panel 7. Out front, Antifa members in black and red handkerchief masks begin taking places surrounding the building.
Antifa.
Antifa guys look specifically different from the jihadi assassins inside. They are overtly white, pale mayonnaise white, and wearing the handkerchiefs.
It's going to be like Panic Room, except that it's going to be a huge bloodbath.
It's just straight up like Panic Room.
An Antifa guy with a bullhorn just yells through the bullhorn at no one in particular. Antifa with bullhorn, man. It says man in the script. This is a fascist securement protest. We have discovered an admitted fascist hiding among you, and we are isolating him. Do not interfere, or you will be viewed as allying with the fascist.
It's too masculine, but okay. This is mostly based on what actually happened in real life to Kurt Westergaard.
To who?
Kurt Westergaard, the guy who drew the Mohammed Bomb head cartoon for
Yeah, well, I was going to say also the fucking guy who wrote the Satanic Verses.
That's Salman Rushdie. But Kurt Westergaard's house actually was invaded by some Muslim guy with a fucking axe.
Page 11.
Oh,
Panel 1.
we're getting through it.
Thomas and Charlene by the front window of the second floor. Thomas is looking downwards to the street level as if they were listening to the Antifa. Thomas. Admitted fascist? Since when? Charlene.
Where are your guns?
Panel 2, small panel. Thomas looking so bashful and ashamed that he is positively adorable and huggable and squeezable if he blushes kawaii AF ultra moe. Thomas. Thomas continued. I don't have any. Panel 3. Charlene giving him a so done with this look. However, Thomas looks a bit adorably pleased. Charlene.
Every story you write, everybody's got guns. Every one of your wimpy little characters that's actually you is always saving themselves by shooting the bad guy at the end.
Thomas, you actually read my stories? Panel 4. Charlene silently scowls powerfully at him, making Thomas adorably panic. Thomas. Thomas continued. Guns scare me. Even a lot of the smaller ones are as big as my forearms, so I feel like I couldn't be able to carry them right. Thomas continued. Plus, they have to be disassembled and maintained all the time. Thomas continued. I can barely maintain myself, let alone a gun. Panel 5. Thomas continues, a bit lost in thought, with a smaller inset panel as described below. Thomas. When I was a kid, I found a bullet on the street and kept it in my room. But then I started getting really paranoid that it would just get damp from air moisture and then fall off a shelf, and the back of it would hit the edge of another shelf, and the bullet would fire and go right into the side of my head. Panel 6, smaller inset panel, perhaps crudely drawn, inside a small apartment bedroom within Thomas's imagination of the teenage Tim looking cutely shocked and rudely awakened as a bullet fires or has a negligent discharge from the fall onto the sharp edge of a shelf or a cabinet or dresser, and the bullet projectile itself goes right into the temple of his head, the shell casing still hanging in the air where it hit the edge of whatever it landed on. Oh, he's getting his brains blown out and looking cutely shocked.
Yes.
And rudely awakened in the
He's
process.
still cute even as he's dying.
Panel 7. Thomas's rambling is starting to just go off the page, along with the other inset panel as described below. Thomas. But it wouldn't kill me, just lodge in my brain, so it would be too dangerous to surgically remove it, and I'd be paralyzed for life, just having a useless body dragged around for another 30 or 40 years before I expire like the rotting meat I am. Panel 8, smaller inset panel of Thomas's imagination, where he's a drooling zombie with his gnarled up hands and arms and legs in a wheelchair, eyes permanently rolled back, tongue hanging out, his long-suffering parents putting in obviously fake, painful grins as they stand next to his wheelchair, a family photo that Thomas's crippled, gnarled body is ruining. Page 12, panel 1. Charlene grabs Thomas's shoulders and shakes him out of it, jolting him a bit. Thomas looking adorably wobbly. Charlene.
Do you have any weapons at all?
Charlene continued.
Anything we can use to defend ourselves?
Panel 2. Thomas is a little dizzy but recovering as he answers, cutely of course.
Of course.
Thomas is incapable of answering questions in any other way.
You know, that's a good point.
It's a good point.
It's good.
Thomas. Yeah. Upstairs by the balcony. There's some of my old stuff. Some of it might be heavy. Panel 3. Small panel. Jihadi assassins pointing guns around corners as they sneak around the kitchen and TV room / study area. Panel 4. Small panel. Thomas and Charlene sneakily tiptoeing up the stairs like some Tex Avery cartoon. Panel 5. Charlene stands next to a balcony, looking down 2 stories into the main hall that goes to the living room. The balcony is entered through more of a back stairway, all that usual hand-carved lacquered oak banisters and balconies and rails. Thomas is crouching as he's finishing taking the last step up the stairway, looking into this upper room that they've both entered, as if he's looking for something specific that he knows is here. We can see old flat-screen monitors and keyboards stacked up on a flimsy, small, cheap desk, a couple spare computer mice sitting next to them on the desk, a few stacks of cardboard boxes piled up. Charlene, whispering,
I think one of them's below us in the main hall.
Panel 6. Another angle of this upper room. It's almost like a large attic room, though it isn't an attic. It's just an upper level of the building, simply a sort of enclosed storage room that appears to only be accessible by this one stairwell. Charlene crouches a bit behind the balcony railing as she peers down between some of the wooden rails. Thomas is going through some of the shelves of tech junk. Behind them, we see one older 40-inch flat screen TV that's on its side, leaning against the wall, with another shelf near it full of junk. Also nearby is a full suit of metal armor, except it's inflatable plastic as just a gag item.
That's like Chekhov's gun, except it'll have absolutely no payoff.
Charlene.
Got anything heavy I could drop?
Thomas. Yeah, this should do it. Panel 7. Thomas presents to her a dusty PlayStation 3. He's smiling in a nervous sort of way. Charlene doesn't look too amused. Page 13. Panel 1.
Oh.
A hooded jihadi assassin carrying a handgun as he creeps down the main hallway, 2 stories beneath that balcony. Panel 2. Large panel. The assassin is literally pancaked and beyond, as the PlayStation 3 is already hitting the floor billions or trillions of gallons of blood and gore exploding out from the sides of where the assassin once stood, sort of vaguely like in Final Destination 2 or 3, I think, where the kid gets squashed flat by a glass panel that a crane accidentally dropped on him. The PlayStation 3 cracks horizontally as it hits the floor. Perhaps a disc can be seen flying out. That makes me wonder what game is in it. What was the last game he played that he forgot to take out?
It was probably a movie.
It was Click.
Yes. Liquefied murderer guts literally paint every surface of the carved oak walls, the desks and dressers and tables nearby, all the way down the hall for a good 20 feet or so. Maybe his arms remain, but they're so coated under blood and guts that they might not be visible anyway. It makes the blood elevator from The Shining look like a diabetes finger poke test. It is literally impossible for any human being to have that much blood and gore in them, and yet there it is. No sound effects, because if this is drawn properly, a sound effect would only get in the way.
Kind of like regular fucking American comics.
Panel 3. Charlene and Thomas at the balcony looking down, a bit surprised and confused perhaps. Even from here, there's splatters of blood on the upper walls across from them and on some of the balcony they're leaning over. Thomas. Oh shit. Panel 4. Repeat of panel 3. Thomas. I think I left a Blu-ray in there.
Click. Oh no. Like,
now we know which one it was.
Page 14. Panel 1. Exterior. Perhaps a low-angle view of the big brownstone apartment building, whatever it is, but we see Antifa protesters outside with the red handkerchiefs over their mouths. One is yelling into a bullhorn out to the streets just in general, speechifying, while also looking like he is crying with uncontrollable rage.
Impotent rage.
Antifa with bullhorn.
Shit.
We know why you're afraid, America! Antifa with bullhorn continued. You're afraid of change! Which is why you elect corrupt orange narcissists with tiny hands like Drumpy Drump, who has already completely destroyed this country because of your fear of a new era.
Orange Hitler.
Antifa with bullhorn continued, scratchy large text. Your fear of change disgusts me! Panel 2, interior. Thomas peeking out the window downward at the Antifa guys as Charlene keeps an eye out for their room. Antifa with bullhorn, off panel from window, small text. Re.
Autistic screeching.
Some autistic screeching. That's always makes for a better comic.
Thomas, the guys outside are Antifa. The guys with the guns in here must be Muslims. Thomas continued. It's an Antifada group, just like last year with that Chakra something lady who wrote that book about Rotherham, and that one guy who wrote Rumble Palace. Charlene.
You shouldn't call them Muslims. They're just terrorists. My cousin converted to Islam a few years ago, and he's very nice.
Panel 3. Thomas looks back from the window towards Charlene, who is speaking with confidence. Thomas, how do you know he's not here with these terrorist guys? Charlene.
I'm very sure he's not. He told me last week he was going to Zimbabwe to volunteer with a Muslim group, so he might not even be on this continent right now.
He's volunteered chopping off klutz.
Panel 4. Thomas looks thoughtful. In a cute way. Did I mention that yet?
Oh.
The window is still in the background, where a bullhorn pronouncement interrupts him, its word balloon probably physically overlapping his own. Thomas, what kind of Muslims? Were they Sunni or Shia or Wahhabi? Thomas continued. Or Salafist? Thomas continued. Or, Antifa with bullhorn interrupting off panel from window. The era of fascism is over! We are purging their Hitler-loving artists and writers from this land! Page 15. Panel 1. Exterior. Ground level view angled upwards towards the third level window of Thomas's building as we see the Antifa with the bullhorn and perhaps a couple other Antifa guys nearby, perhaps even with moldy locks, but they're all looking up at that third floor window with Thomas's head poking out of the open window as he yells at them. The Antifa guys look startled and angered in a wacky Nani Boko Ya Sweat Dorp kind of way. Thomas, I'm still not going to sort my recycling, you fuckers! Panel 2. Interior. The junk storage room again as Thomas leans back from the window and giggles with his hand in his mouth mischievously and adorably.
Cat paw to chin.
Charlene looks annoyed with Thomas. Charlene.
The hell are you doing?
Thomas. If we're going to kill these guys, it's not as fun if we don't insult them first. Panel 3. Same panel, but Thomas is pushing a secret button under a shelf that opens a hidden wall panel into another room. If we can see any of it, it's kind of a tacky room, very red disco lights. Thomas. Anyway, don't worry, we can hide in here. Antifa with bullhorn, off panel from window. He's up on the third floor! Panel 4. Inside the tacky room, red heart-shaped bed in the middle. A disco ball above it, shining pink and purple lights. Sitting up on the bed is a very sultry-looking, thick woman wearing a one-piece hoodie bikini-cut bodysuit. As it turns out, she's not a real woman. She's just a sex doll robot. This is Kristen, Thomas's girlfriend. Not going to bother putting enough necessary quotes around the word girlfriend. Thomas is trying to push Charlene into the room as he's also hitting a button inside the room that closes the wall panel doorway. Charlene.
I think your existence is an insult to them.
Charlene continued.
Please tell me this isn't your panic room.
Kristen.
Oh, no.
Oh, Tommy, it's been 83 hours and 48 minutes since I've last seen you. I've missed you so much. Do you want me to suck your dick so hard you go cross-eyed again? Page 16, panel 1. Thomas, looking cautious, explaining to his sex doll robot fucking lady friend. Charlene just
Special lady friend.
He's my special lady friend, man.
Charlene just stands off to the side, not wanting to touch anything, her arms very straight and retracted to her sides. Thomas, not right now. There are terrorists trying to kill us. Kristen, oh, baby, I'm so sorry to hear that. Kristen continued, I can't move of my own action, but I would love nothing more than to have my body used to protect your life. Kristen continued, I could take a bullet for you. I believe my durable molybdenum frame is capable of stopping ballistic force up to 408,227 pounds per square inch.
She sounds like the ideal girlfriend.
Now you can understand why he doesn't have a girlfriend.
Yes.
Would need one.
Molybdenum is supposedly what Crow T robot's made out of.
Panel 2, exterior. The power box alongside the building as an Antifa masked guy cuts the line with some hedge cutters. Panel 3. Same as panel 2, but the ensuing electrical shock blasts the Antifa guy's soul right out. He wasn't grounded or wearing anything rubber. He's just a crispy blackened crust now. Perhaps a tiny ghost really does visibly shoot out of him, but even the tiny ghost looks fried. Panel 4, interior again, inside the sex room, as all the lights go out and we just see the dark blurs of Thomas, Charlene, and Kristen. Thomas, whispering, when they find nothing in that room, that should give us a chance to surprise them. Charlene, whispering, with what? Panel 5. Thomas blushing so brightly that his pink cheeks are visible even in the dark. Thomas whispering, well, Kristen is actually too heavy for me to lift myself, so... Charlene whispering, is she at least, clean? Thomas whispering, Page 17, panel 1. The junk room outside the sex doll room as the jihadis try to search it. One of them is a young black man, though they're all wearing masks. The secret door to the sex doll room is practically invisible. Jihadi 1. Nothing here. Did he escape? Black jihadi. Not sure, but we haven't found his maid yet either. Jihadi 3. The infidel, non-believer, atheist Jew is cowering behind his dark slave. When we find one, we will find both. Panel 2. Inside the darkened sex room, Charlene and Thomas have their ears against the wall. Thomas whispering, Jew? Since when? Panel 3. In the junk room again, Jihadi 3 is giving instructions to the black jihadi. Jihadi 3. Keep an eye on this room for a few minutes. Jihadi 3 continued. Remember, you have still yet to prove yourself to us, though if you encounter them, you will contact us. His she-boon servant we care nothing about, but we want him captured to make a video so we may show the fate of all atheist kuffars. Jihadi 3 continued. You are still loyal to our holy struggle to solve the disbeliever problem, yes? Black Jihadi. Of course, don't worry, I'll show you I'm worthy.
Panel 4.
The black jihadi standing around the empty junk room, just looking around. We see the window behind him as the bullhorn yelling from outside can still be heard. Antifa with bullhorn off panel from window. The privileged fascist snowflake cowering in his house, eating avocado toast. What's wrong, you little snowflake? You afraid of facing the consequences of your precious free speech? Panel 5. The black jihadi just standing around bored, looking towards that interior balcony to the main hall that still has some blood splattered on it and the high wall across from it. Antifa with bullhorn, off panel. Go back to your strip malls where values are king! Page 18, panel 1. Suddenly, Kristen's body is bashing the black jihadi over the head, busting his jaw and making blood gush from his nose. Kristen looks as distressed as the jihadi. Black jihadi. Earth! Panel 2. Charlene coming from the open secret wall panel as she wields Kristen by her feet. Charlene.
Yeah, and welcome to it.
Panel 3. Charlene swings Kristen again, bashing the jihadi across the face, teeth flying out, tons more blood splattering from his nose, mouth, and ears as his brain instantly hemorrhages, for sure dead. However, Kristen's head loosens unnaturally from her body, as well as one of her arms breaking and bending the wrong way. Panel 4, small panel, perhaps an inset of panel 3, of Thomas looking so horrified he's extra sweat dorpy and his eyes are blanked out. His face is a completely blank white, perhaps the color of the panel are completely blanched out. He's traumatized at seeing his girlfriend disfigured. Panel 5. Kristen discarded onto the floor, neck and arms visibly broken, her face splattered with blood as Thomas cradles her looking distraught. Charlene simply focuses on looting the handgun from the dead jihadi. Thomas. Kristen, I'm so sorry. I didn't want this for you. Panel 6. Kristen giving Thomas a stern, disapproving look. Kristen. Thomas, I believe we need to have a very long conversation about the manner in which you treat me. Panel 7. Kristen's eyes go blank as Thomas rips a really big, novelty-sized AA battery out of the back of her head, like where her brainstem would be. Thomas. Whoops, looks like her battery got loosened. Thomas continued. I mean, I was kind of thinking of getting something a little more custom built, and I was just hearing that they got these new models that are easier to clean out. Thomas continued. At the competitive prices they have these days, I can't afford not to. Page 19.
Oh.
Panel 1. Charlene holding the jihadi's handgun on the top of her opened, upraised palms quizzically, like she's holding an injured bird. Thomas unmasks the dead terrorist assassin. Charlene.
How do I tell if the safety is on?
Thomas. Wait, is this your cousin? Panel 2. Charlene looking downward at the dead terrorist, but she's pretty adamant. Thomas is standing up next to her, looking down as well. Charlene.
No. Did you really think my cousin who lives 2,000 miles away would be here?
Thomas. Well, someone let him here. Panel 3. Charlene crosses her arms, giving a sassy, chiding black lady lecture to Thomas. Charlene.
You really don't think Mark Ruffalo could have given them your address?
Panel 4. Thomas looking innocent and moe again, of course, blushing. He's so fucking cute. Thomas. Yeah, but... Thomas continued. That would be so obvious and predictable. Panel 5. Thomas and Charlene both jolting as they hear one of the other terrorists yell from further down. Jihadi off panel from below. Kwanzaa, check in, or I'm coming up there. Panel 6. Thomas looks upward to Charlene and instructs her. She dutifully concurs. She holds up the gun. The safety catch near the back of the slide by the hammer shows a red dot. Thomas. Red means dead, so the safety's off. Jihadi, off panel. I'm coming up there, Kwanzaa. You better not be jacking off on the job again. Page 20. Panel 1. View from below of Charlene winging her arm down over the edge of the balcony and firing 3 shots off, 3 shells flinging out of the ejection port. There's still some splatters of blood on the outside portion of the balcony and the wall beneath it from that first guy who got pulverized by the PlayStation 3. The gunshots reverberate off the nearby walls. Sound effects, gun. Paco, Paco, Paco! Panel 2. Thomas
What?
and Charlene both cutely look over the edge of the balcony. Panel 3. From their view, the jihadi below laying in the giant pond of drying gore, 2 holes with smoke rising from them in the gooey floor, and 1 bloody hole in the left side of the jihadi's forehead. Panel 4. Charlene looking smug, holding the gun up a bit, her finger off the trigger though. Thomas displays mild concern, but only very mild. Charlene.
Pretty lucky for my first time.
Thomas. You're kind of Mary Sue-ish, but I won't complain right now. Thomas continued. We know they heard that, so they'll be coming there. Panel 5. Ground floor view. The liquid gore fest and the other dead terrorist on his back as a couple of the other masked jihadis approach, crouched and creeping, one holding a handgun, another holding a sawed-off shotgun. Page 21. Panel 1. The terrorists as above, but a computer keyboard bonks off one of their heads, making that assassin cover his head, and a computer mouse thuds into the gooey floor harmlessly next to another. The terrorist with the sawed-off looks upward and announces, Sawed-off jihadi. The Jew is above us! Panel 2. Thomas cowering behind the balcony banisters as he throws more junk over it down onto them. Thomas. I'm not even Jewish! Panel 3. From further up the hall, the bottom of the stairway that goes up to the 2nd and 3rd floors, Charlene does a perfect Chow Yun-Fat shoot dodge towards the back of a couch, jumping to the side as she fires the gun, as she has the most blatant, goofy Max Payne 1 face. Sound effects, gun. Pack, 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 pack!
Oh boy.
4. The jihadis, only 1 bullet catches him, and it's in his shoulder, which stuns him. All the other shots hit the wall. Jihadi. Get after her! Jihadi 2. Allahu Akbar! Panel 5. Her obese bulk taking off as she sprints in a terrified panic from behind the couch into the next room, bullets cracking into the walls and blasting fluff from the couch as she sprays her own handgun to the side of the terrorist. Sound effects, gun. Pack, pack, pack! Sound effects, shotgun. Bacam, bacam! Page 22. Panel 1. Charlene runs through the TV room with the big sofa chair and the bed along the side, bullets flying past her, hitting randomly against the bookshelves, the wall, the chair, as she heads to the kitchen in the back. Oh no, they're not going to shoot the documentary, are they?
Even if it doesn't happen, I don't want to say if it does or not, because then it'll spoil it. It doesn't happen.
Okay. As she heads to the kitchen in the back, which has no door, just an open doorway. Her gun is empty, the slide locked back, so she just throws it off to the side in the room. Sound effects, gun. Blam, blam, blam.
Guns.
2. A masked jihadi enters the kitchen, scowling as his gun is raised, and a knife thumps against the wall next to him, but handle first, so it just bounces away harmlessly. Thomas called her a Mary Sue, and that just fucking jinxed her for the rest of the shootout. Sound effects, knife. Pump. Panel 3. She runs out from behind the central kitchen counter, a frying pan in each hand, one of which blocks a bullet, but another bullet catches
super hot.
Another bullet catches into her obese flank. Charlene, weak and scribbly. Herg!
Her first and second fat layers.
Yes.
Sound effects. Guns. Blam, blam! Sound effects. Pan. Spang! Page 23. Panel
Fucking
3. She's on her back as she spins around just in time to empty both barrels into the terrorist that was chasing just behind her, sending him flying back into the kitchen. Perhaps he flies so hard his ass shoves into the microwave behind him, which dings, even though microwaves don't do that anymore. Sound effects, sawed off. Baclow! Sound effects. Microwave, maybe? Ding! Page 24, panel 1. From further back in the kitchen, the last jihadi scowls furiously as he raises his gun and pushes past the dead terrorist. Panel 2. Charlene frowns as she finds the first terrorist's handgun in a pile of gore. It's completely drenched and gooped up with blood and pulverized guts. Panel 3. She points it at the last jihadi and pulls the trigger, which clicks harmlessly. Sound effects. Bloody gun. Click, click, click. Panel 4. The terrorist grins at her as he has her cornered at last, raising his gun towards her to shoot her dead.
That sounds like fucking hero beginning.
Page
Full life
20.
consequences.
Yeah, full life consequences.
Page 25. Panel 1. The jihadi's head gets bashed from behind just in time as we see Thomas wielding his Oscar. Blood splattered on it from the jihadi he
Like,
just
got it out of the trash. Pulled it out of the garbage.
Thomas is holding the Oscar by the actual Oscar part, using the base as the blunt object of attack. Thomas has his teeth clenched, and he looks strained with energy, while also somehow looking cute. Good luck drawing that, fucko. Panel 2. The jihadi slumped to the floor as Thomas looks like he's in a bloodlust fury. Big vein on his forehead, his face red, swinging one more time with the Oscar, crushing the terrorist's skull, sending blood splattering. Panel 3. Thomas's blood pressure still high as Charlene clutches her bloodied flank from the bullet hole, and she limps over towards Thomas. Charlene.
That might be all of them, but I don't know for sure.
Charlene.
And the Antifa guys outside.
Charlene continued.
Oh.
Panel 4. Thomas coming out of his haze as he shows concern. Thomas. Hey, you all right? Charlene.
No, but I can walk.
Page 26. Panel 1. Exterior again. The bullhorn Antifa yelling out in front of the building. Antifa with bullhorn. The fascist menace will end! Panel 2. A bullet blows through the back of the bullhorn Antifa's head and out his face.
Bullhorn Antifa is the guy's name, basically.
Sound effects. Gun. Extra large text. Blam! Panel 3. The Antifa guy collapses, revealing Thomas behind him, looking dazed and almost cross-eyed as the loudness of the gun deafens him. Thomas. Gah, fuck, I think the fluid in my ears just got rearranged. Panel 4. Charlene has another Antifa guy's neck in her burly arms. Panel 5. She snaps his neck so fucking...
Yeah, see, I didn't want to spoil this because it was coming up later.
Panel 5. She snaps his neck so fucking hard that a sonic boom blows out, shaking everything and making car windows nearby blow out. The instantly dead Antifa guy is practically in midair from the force. Sound effect. Neck. Snap boom! Panel 6. Thomas looks with amazement, perhaps cute amazement. Thomas. Whoa, just like in Man of Steel. That was so dope. Page 27. Panel 1, smaller panel. A couple Antifa guys further down the street see this, panicking slightly. Panel 2. Charlene slumps to the curb, holding her bullet wound again, looking exhausted as the remaining Antifa people in the background are running away. Thomas approaches, handing her the gun, looking a bit remorseful. Thomas, I don't blame you if you decide to resign. Thomas continued, I'll make sure you get a good severance bonus, and I'll send your family an annual donation. Panel 3. Charlene looks weary, but she smirks at him as she takes the gun. Charlene. Just get a amber
lamps. Yeah.
Just get a amber lamps here.
Yes.
You don't remember
that meme from 10 years ago?
Thomas, might as well call the cops while I'm at it.
That was a good idea.
Why didn't you think of that before?
All of this has happened in the course of maybe 90 seconds.
No, I thought this was a plot hole, but then I remembered that his phone was too far away for him to reach.
Yeah, he didn't reach the phone.
Panel 4, large panel, extra wide shot of the street as Thomas stands up. Charlene sitting on the curb, a couple dead Antifa guys nearby. Thomas, and don't worry, I can get the phone myself this time. Fucking studio audience laughter.
Yes.
Right there.
If I had an audio component to this comic, I would definitely put in the Seinfeld music and that kind of shit.
And maybe also somebody in the background, part of the crew, screaming, "Where's the joke?"
Page 28, panel 1. A widescreen TV showing Thomas speaking to the reporter on the street in front of his apartment building. Thomas looks weary, both from the day and dealing with this reporter. Reporter. It's being said that attackers were displaced youths who were making a statement against the oppressive imperialist hegemony.
Hegemony.
Hegemony or hegemony.
It's a gay word anyway, so who gives a fuck?
Hegemony. Reporter. It's being said that the attackers were displaced youths who were making a statement against the oppressive imperialist hegemony represented by our collective privilege, which is keeping their home nations in poverty. Thomas. No, they just wanted to kill me. Thomas continued. I know people want to act like they have some complicated logical reason, but they don't. Thomas continued. They just want to kill all the non-believers and take over the world. They have the motivations of a cheesy Bond villain, and everyone acts like that's too simplistic to be true, but, well, I don't know. Panel 2. A bit closer up on Thomas on the TV. Thomas. We demand three-dimensional characters in fiction, but we can't even get three-dimensional people in real life. Panel 3. The TV blurs out in the background as the focus is on a tablet being held up in front of it in a dark room. On the tablet is some Twitter-type social media feed with a picture of some fat neckbeard tipping his fedora and wearing a t-shirt that says, we demand three-dimensional characters in fiction, but we can't get three-dimensional people in real life. The fat dork's picture includes his caption. His name is Dr. Who. Dr. _ Who. Underneath it is more of the Twitter feed of angry people, but their tweets are much smaller, less focus. The TV does still continue in the background. Reporter on TV. Some are saying that Donald Trump's landslide election to a fourth term was due in part to the attempts on Thomas Royloop's life, as well as the attempts on lives of several other writers and artists throughout the country in recent years. Doctor Who, 47 minutes ago. Lol, I saw this shirt of your meme at Hot Topic and had to get it at Thomas Royloop. Baizuo 2008, 28 minutes ago. My life is ruined. Fucking Orange Hitler got reelected again because a racist manlet didn't get murdered like he should have. I fucking hate this country. Several rage and crying emojis. Not like I care. The trash people in this country are too funny with what shitboys they all are. Several laughing emojis. Panel 4. Thomas in a new large sofa chair, blankets and pillows around it, but this time he's wearing military camo body armor and a helmet.
You might say he's the sofa king.
And the helmet has a completely for real golden and jeweled king's crown
Yes,
worn
he is the
over
Sofa
the
King.
top of it, because he's the king of kawaii. There is none higher, you cuckold gay weebs should call him sire. Thomas looks annoyed, but in the cutest way humanly possible. Thomas. Memes are just the fucking worst.
Thomas is right.
Page 29. The TV in focus again, but this time a remote aimed at it, as the channel changes to a channel labeled Steam PC. On the screen now is the title screen for the Dark Souls of Laylee games, Layleevania 2 Unlit Spirits. Laylee is featured on the screen looking so
Smog. She's so smug. She's smog.
Smog.
She's just smosug.
Smosug.
Looking so smug, she's going full Costanza.
Yes.
It
finally happened.
Wearing her pelt quilt uniform, a patchwork of animal skins with the fur worn on the inside, ending around her massive cleavage, and hefting a massive sword, the Exile Greatsword from Dark Souls 3, over one of her shoulders. Panel 2. Charlene approaching from one side. We see that the room looks blander. The ceiling is lower than normal. None of the elaborate lights or furnishing. It's essentially an underground fortified bunker. Charlene holds a fancy silver tray of several cups of blueberry yogurt. The first one open. A golden dessert spoon sticking out of the opened yogurt. Ice cubes surrounding the yogurt cups to keep them nice and cold, as usual. Charlene is also wearing a military helmet and body armor over her normal maid uniform. And she's also wearing one handgun holster strapped to one arm, another strapped to her waist, and she's wearing a full AR-15 slung over one shoulder. Thomas also sitting there, going a little blank as he focuses on the game, the TV screen lighting him up. His setup is about the same as before, 2 tables on either side of the chair, one for his food, the other for the game controllers, remotes, and his phone, which is now in closer reach on a charging dock.
That's his character arc. His character arc is he learned to put the phone closer.
Except this time, each table has a gun just laying on it. And there's another AR-15 slung over the back of the chair as well. And he wears one compact handgun strapped on his upper left arm. In the slightly more distant background is another sex doll robot, this time modeled on Laylee from the video game, with her dark hair, brown skin, and pelt quilt suit. Thomas looks as moe as he possibly can here. Charlene.
I just tested the flamethrower traps in the secret elevator and they're working fine, Mr. Roy Loop.
Thomas. Cool. Charlene.
Child, Tyler Perry.
Thomas, small text. Please no. Panel 3. A sort of perspective tilted kind of close-up. A nearby shelf glowing from the light of the TV. His Oscar sits on it, but the base and the statue still stained with blood. The end.
Anyway, Za, though, I think this worked out pretty well. We're dead.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, we're dead. Anyways, okay, so good show, and if you want to help fund actual original content, well, it looked like that the plane landed safely in the mountains instead of us dying. But if you want to fund actual original content instead of unoriginal content, go to patreon.com/smuglaley. And you can help fund this comic, or probably not this comic yet anyways, but you can help fund other comics like it, like literally issue 1, and then the upcoming issue 2 after that, hopefully. And then perhaps this one, even. If we got enough money.
Shake, you're making it worse.
Go back to your strip malls, where values are king.
Look,